to another day on the vlog. Hey guys, just wanted to let you know last night's presentation was absolutely as I said yesterday, practice makes perfect. Things went off without a hitch. We had a few hundred people come to a virtual trade show. First time I've ever done a virtual trade show. I think it went pretty well. I'm waiting for some feedback from some of the attendees and the hosts. But yeah, generally very happy with how it all went. Well, today I want to talk a little bit about the economics of solar power. And you would think, looking at the weather today, this is a very strange day to talk about solar power. We've been a solar power user, generator, for the last 6 years. We've had a small 2.1 kilowatt array installed on our roof, and we've been generating power even on days such as this, where it's grey and overcast. And that's one of the fallacies around solar energy, is people believe that you have to have a sunny day. Well, sunny days do generate more power, but you still get energy from the sun through the clouds. One of the reasons for wanting to talk about the economics of this today is I believe we've just crossed a threshold. I think we've just crossed the threshold after 6 years where the cost of the installation has basically paid for itself, and they are now generating free money. So we'll go and take a look at the numbers, we'll figure it out, and we'll see where we are. So this is our 2.1 kilowatt solar panel array. We had it installed in 2010. We've never touched it since then. We've never even cleaned the panels off. We let the rain do that. But it's continued to generate power ever since, and we've had absolutely no problems with it. So this is the business end of the solar system. This is the generation meter and the necessary connections to the fuse box that allows energy from the panels to flow into the house at a slightly higher impedance level than the grid. Therefore, we will use the power from the panels before we use the power from the grid. So let's crunch the numbers. The generation meter tells us we've generated 12,621 kilowatt hours of electricity. Now, from the contract that I have with the government's Department of Energy, they pay me approximately, it's sort of averaging out over the time, about 50 pence per kilowatt hour. So that works out roughly about £6,310 since the panels were installed. Okay, because I've been able to, not only do I get paid for generating that power, but I can actually use those units as well. I've actually saved myself from having to buy 12,621 kilowatts. So again, if we average out the price over the last few years, let's say it's about 15 pence a kilowatt. So that means that I have saved a further 1,893.15. But also, their government work on the principle that I will export a certain amount of my power to the grid as well. So they pay me 3 pence a unit for everything that I've generated. So in this case, 0.3p. That's per. So this is a little extra top up on top of the 50 pence a unit that we get, because some of it will go back into the grid, which is a further £378.63. So to install this 2.1 kilowatt system back in 2010 cost me £8,545. That was for everything. That was for to buy the system, installation, commissioning, getting it all up and running. So this is the golden number. This is what we're looking to have paid back. So if we add all these numbers up, let's bring in my calculator here. We do 6310.5 plus 1893.15 plus 378.63 equals £8,582.28. So let's take away our original 8545. So far we are in profit to the tune of £37.28. Now, as I said, these were installed in 2010, and the contract I have with the energy provider is guaranteed at least at this rate, and this rate will go up with the rate of inflation for 25 years from the date of commissioning. So in just over 6 years we have paid it off. So we now have 19 years of free money. It's not a bad return on investment. Okay, so the solar system has paid for itself in about 6.5 years in total. So if we look forward, let's try and calculate what the total return on investment would be. So as I said, we spent about £8,500 to install the system. That money has been returned to us in savings in 6.5 years. We have a further sort of about 18.5 years left on our contract. So if we just assume that nothing will change, that as I say, the costs of the energy that they will buy from us are fixed. They will only ever go up with the rate of inflation. But the cost of energy that we buy from the grids may go up, may go down, may stay the same. So we really don't know. So if we just take things as they are today, we've got about 222 months remaining. So if we take the 8,000 that we've generated so far, we divide that by 78 months, it comes out at approximately £109 per month. So we can calculate forward and say, well, if there's 222 months remaining at £109 a month, it's going to generate about £24,270 over the course of its life. So I say we've recouped our cost. We're going to generate a further £24,000, which will go directly into my bank account. I think that's a pretty good return on investment. And this is on a tiny little system. If you have a lot more roof space, you could put a lot more panels up there. I mean, the average installation these days is between 4 and 6 kilowatts. Now, the return on that from the energy companies isn't quite as good. You certainly won't get the 50 pence a kilowatt, which I do. And that's because the cost of installations has gone down over the last few years. And so the higher amounts were given to people that paid a lot more for their systems. Those that paid less for their systems can get a lower amount. So for each individual person, you need to work it out for yourselves. But the one thing I can say, even in the UK, even in the depths of winter, solar energy makes so much sense. So for all the naysayers that are out there that don't want £24,271.26 in their bank account, I would say keep denying that solar is a viable alternative to other fuels. Every single house could have solar on their roof, whether they be panels like I've got or the new modern tiles that companies like Tesla are pioneering. Solar really does work and can make a massive impact on everybody's life. If you can afford to put it on your roof, I would go ahead and do it. You will not regret it. I would say £24,000, that's just